but what we do know was that it was used for satanic rituals, and that the thing is doused in black magic and contains human and animal bones. One of the 3 people who took their own lives was an alleged Satanist whose activity was responsible for the possession of the house. Her name was Bathsheba Sherman, who became a demon that Lorraine will never forget. The demon would physically attack the daughters of the Perrin family.
Know you want me. You said you're lonely. You can't get none of me. Smoking the gas now. Feel like a star, yeah. She wanna get rich. Proud of Dior, yeah. My heart is so froze now.
What's good? Dark Knight Gang, motherfucker gang. I'm Neptune. Bro, today I'm about to watch a video from Most Amazing Top 10. This video right here is titled Top 10 Demons That Ed and Lorraine Warren Feared. Ooh, this should be fuego big. So, if you don't know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are, they were like demon hunters. Movies came out about them. I believe it's the whole Conjuring series. I've seen it, of course. I love those type of movies, bro. You guys know I believe in angels and demons. I've even contacted angels and demons. I've spoken to both of them. You know what I mean? So I believe in it fully. So, if you don't believe, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You can live your life in a box and choose not to explore life. Me personally, I believe because I've contacted them. So, we're about to look at a video that the demons that these famous demon hunters feared the most. I'm ready to hop on into this. Before I do, I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's having a great day. Remember, you only have one life to live. So live it up. Live it up. You feel me? But yeah, man. Let's hop into this video. Let's see the demons that they feared. Before we do, I didn't ask y'all. Let me know down in the comments. Do you believe in angels, demons, extraterrestrials? Do you believe in the spiritual realm? Let me know down in the comments. Y'all know I do. I mean, I talk about it all the time. Anyway, let's hop into this video. This should be interesting. I like this type of stuff. Yeah, shout out to the gang. Let's go.
Today we review the demons our favorite demonologists feared. Join me as we review our top 10 demons that Ed and Lorraine Warren feared. I'm your host Rachel Fisher, and let's get spooked, shall we? Number 10, The Devil Made Me Do It. In 1981, 19-year-old Arn Cheyenne Johnson sparked controversy far and wide for a crime he wasn't behind, or so we think. While arguing with Alan Bono over Johnson's girlfriend, Arn stabbed Bono, resulting in the man's death. When police arrived, Arn claimed that the devil made him do it. When the words "the devil made me do it" came from his mouth, it sent the world into controversy. Apparently, Arn was possessed by a demon that had not been vanquished by the Warrens at all. Ed and Lorraine had worked with his family a year prior when Arn's girlfriend's brother David was possessed by not one, not two, but 43 demons. In order to save him, Arn commanded the demons to enter him instead, so when his dark deed finally occurred, Ed and Lorraine flew to his defense. The Warrens stated that at the time of the exorcism, and I quote, "Johnson leapt up and cried to the demon, 'Come into me, I'll fight you, come into me.' But from that time on, he was possessed." The Paranormal Society was split in half, but Johnson's team was committed. The court had defended acts of God in the past, like a lightning strike to a tree hits a car, you know what I mean? And now it was time to defend accounts of the devil. But despite what you believe, it wasn't enough, and Johnson received a maximum sentence, but was released after good behavior just 4 years later. But still, the fact that these demons were never truly vanquished left the Warrens terrified that this might be the case elsewhere.
Nah. Well, I'm not denying that he was probably possessed. Maybe he was possessed, but he still did it. You feel me? That nigga still did it, so you gotta go to prison, bro. You still did it. I don't care if you are or if you aren't. You feel me? That's not an excuse.
Number 7, the Enfield Haunting. I don't know what it is with the 70s, man. It just seems like so much weird stuff happened. We had serial killers. It's nuts. But it just seems like it's
probably from all the movies everybody was watching. Maybe movies really blew up at this time, so a lot of people, demons, this, I don't know. Let's
It's one of the strangest times in history, what with violent killers and violent hauntings. The Enfield Haunting took place in Brimstown, England, and remains one of the more boggling cases the Warrens worked on. Peggy Hodgson and her family claim to have seen furniture and toys being thrown and moved by unknown forces in their homes. They even claimed that violent voices were heard and that their children were levitating in the air. They caught the photo of the girls levitating when the investigators set up a wired
That bitch looked like she jumping. Alright, let's
control camera into the room, which periodically caught images throughout the night. Whatever it was, the Warrens knew there was a demonic entity within the house and immediately set to work. Number 6, the Perrin family case. The Perrin family lived in the old Arnold estate, which inspired the scariest film I have ever seen, personally, because if you've watched me on Central Dark, you know how low my tolerance is. But anyway, it's still awful. Yeah, you know it, you've heard of it. 8 generations of families lived and died in the old house and apparently never wanted to leave, or never could. When the Perrin family moved in the 1970s, the advice they got was to leave the lights on always. Why didn't you leave then? I don't know. I don't know how that didn't send them running for the hills. The house had been rife with tragedy, but one of the 3 people who took their own lives was an alleged Satanist whose activity was responsible for the possession of the house. Her name was Bathsheba Sherman, who became a demon that Lorraine will never forget. The demon would physically attack the daughters of the Perrin family, with one reportedly seeing a floating head screaming and retching at her. Ugh, I almost didn't say her name, but I did, so we'll see what happens to me now.
Okay, so that place was basically haunted, and a Satanist that used to live there, she took her own life, and now she's haunting that place. Why won't she just continue to go on in the afterlife? Why would she want to be stuck in between? She a weirdo.
Number 5, the Shadow Doll. The
Anyway,
Shadow
let's keep
Doll
going.
is literally the doll of your nightmares. The Shadow Doll
okay,
comes from
let's see.
unknown origins but was kept in the Warrens Museum for safekeeping. But what we do know was that it was used for satanic rituals, and that the thing is doused in black magic and contains human and animal bones. Whatever possesses this thing had the Warrens take it into their possession to ensure that it caused harm to no one else. Legend has it that if you take a picture of the doll, it will possess your nightmares. But it won't just be any nightmare. It will be the most terrifying you've ever experienced, and some have even suffered heart attacks from them. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't they just burn the thing? Well, what's more dangerous? A demon you can see right in front of you, or one for you to wander wherever it chooses?
Exactly.
Honestly, I take the spider approach with this. If you see the spider, you know where the spider is, you're good. As soon as the spider disappears, burn your house down. Number 4, Balak. This one is a little controversial because was it just made up for the films? We don't know. Balak is a real demon mentioned in the Lesser Key of Solomon that was introduced into the Conjuring series of films. Though her direct involvement with Lorraine and Ed is under debate, Lorraine's belief in the demon was very strong. Balak is referred to as the Great President of Hell, and usually chooses to appear as a small winged, two-headed creature thing resembling a child. Balak is said to command 30 legions of demons, and in the film became the leading arch nemesis of the Warrens. We'll mention Borley Church in a second, but Balak was portrayed as a nun. But there is some speculation that says that they may have actually encountered him throughout some of their worst cases. Lorraine often said that she encountered a black, shadowy vision of a dark entity whenever she wasn't working on a case, and believed that she was being followed by something she couldn't explain. Want to know more? Stay tuned until the end of the video and make sure to like and subscribe.
I got
while
you,
we're
babe.
here. Number 3, Borley Church relates to Balak. We'll talk about this in a second.
Alright.
The grim history of Borley Church is the perfect setting for a horror film. The land upon which it is built used to be the home to a 14th century monastery, where a monk fell in love with a nun at a nearby convent, which led to the monk being hanged, and the nun was bricked up alive within the walls of her convent, which sounds pretty friggin' extreme if you ask me. It sounds like evil resided there long before Ed and Lorraine made the trek out to sort out whatever demon lay between its walls. Whoever did that to those two poor people, ugh. That's awful. This case inspired the famous nun apparition, as I mentioned, as the youngest daughter of the family who settled there reported seeing her figure. She was also pushed and slapped hard enough to leave welts behind, and that was just in the 1800s. When Ed and Lorraine visited, they obtained photo evidence of the hauntings. Ed captured the image of a monk leafing through one of the books at the altar, and Lorraine experienced a black entity rush past her. Balak. She remembered feeling an overwhelming sense of evil. A picture revealed later showed that the shadow of a nun was rushing past her, so that's where the image came from. So was it Balak? We don't know. Number 2.
The fact that Ed and Lorraine Warren, they used to do like some sort of photography so they can see the spirits, and it used to show up in the pictures. That's insane, bro. That's fucking bananas. Like, you know what I mean?
The Annabelle doll. We
all know about
probably
Annabelle.
The most famous of the hauntings conquered by the Warrens was the Annabelle doll. It would almost be a crime not to mention it. Dolls are already eerie with their black, piercing, beady eyes that look like there's nothing there. But in this case, the most terrifying part was the thing behind it. The case dates back to the 1970s when a Raggedy Ann doll was innocently purchased from an antique store for her daughter. Soon the doll began raising alarm when it would change positions in the house, boggling its owners. But when the notes started showing up saying "help me" and "help Lou," then they came home to find it covered in blood, and they decided then that they needed to call a professional. The first medium they called in said it was just the spirit of a girl who passed away, but then the owner, Angie's boyfriend, was attacked. Enter the Warrens. They knew the doll was in fact a demon based on the marks of the beast and other encounters. They removed the doll and took it home, vowing not to take the highway, concerned that whatever was within the doll might cause an accident.
They should release all this.
Their brakes stalled or failed several times on their way home, putting their life in jeopardy several times. It wasn't until Ed doused the doll in holy water that the problem desisted. The couple was so concerned about the doll that Ed routinely said a prayer over the doll every single night. Alright, number.
They should just release all these items to the public. I'm sure there's people that want these items. You know what I'm saying? How dope would that be to have the Annabelle doll in your house? If you get haunted by it, that's on you. But how dope would that be, bro? Why they get to hold all of these dope ass haunted items?
Number 1, the Amityville horror case. The setting,
all know about this.
Amityville, Long Island in 1975. A place rife with satanic manifestations set on driving whoever entered to violent madness. As soon as I even say Amityville, you know where this is going. One of the most famous Warren cases, this haunting continues to land on the conclusion that there are just some things that can't be explained. A year before the Lutzes moved into the suburban home in Long Island, Ronald DeFay Jr. shot and killed the 6 members of his family. So it's no wonder that during the first month of living there, the Lutzes experienced swarms of flies, loud banging noises, disturbing entities, and even levitations. The Lutzes moved out and left all their belongings behind, and George Lutz, the father, an ex-Marine and karate expert, so clearly a tough guy, wouldn't even meet the Warrens at the house. He met them at a Pizza Hut. He was that scared. The Warrens said that this case affected their personal relationship to each other the most out of any case they've worked on. This entity followed the Warrens home the very first day, and Lorraine described being incredibly fearful. There was something she just couldn't explain. To this day, Lorraine says that this is the case that haunts her the most, and said, and I quote, she hoped that this was as close to hell as she would ever get.
But the whole Amityville horror case, that's, man. A father killing his whole family. I believe he killed himself too. So then whenever somebody will move into that house, it'll just be haunted. I believe that for sure. Even if you don't believe in ghosts and spirits, hopefully you believe in energy, because science even proves that energy is real. And energy can never be created nor destroyed. So the Amityville horror case, for example, all of that negative, evil energy that was there for a man to kill his whole family and kill himself, all of that negative, evil energy was trapped in that house. So you can view it like that. So then when another human moves in, that negative energy can become attached to them and it can mess with them. You see what I'm saying? So if you view it like that, it'll make sense to you. It's so many different ways to make sense of it. You could, if you believe in entities, you be like, oh, that was a demon. If you don't believe in entities, hopefully you know that energy is real. Then you know that, damn, that just had a lot of negative energy. Crazy though, right? This was a good video. Shout out to the gang. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to see y'all next time. Yeah. Peace. taste.
Got all the vibes. Yeah, I got all the vibes. I can't